Hello and welcome to the Week 7 edition of the Monster Pod. Matt Brown, Steven Anders, alongside Ryan Noonan of 4for4.com. Seattle Seahawks on the road at the Atlanta Falcons. By the way, if you Google it, I was like, who would win in a fight, a Seahawk or a Falcon? And I found out that a Seahawk isn't actually a real bird. Like, it's just like a group of birds. Like, it's just like any bird that, like, lives around the water and stuff, and this can be like, oh, that's a Seahawk, and it's like whatever. It's like I was so bummed to find out there's no such thing as an actual Seahawk, so we can't answer the question who would win in a fight between a Seahawk and a Falcon, but we can say that the books think it would be a Falcon, as they are 3-point home favorites here over the Seahawks. 51 is our total in this one. Steven, look, we see the Falcons slowly over the course of the season, at least on the offensive side, maybe start to resemble what we thought they might be heading into the year. That said, this defense that I thought was going to be pretty good has not really lived up to my expectations so far. So in comes Seattle with their trio of receivers, and certainly Geno Smith, as we kind of were talking about earlier with some of these other quarterbacks. We know what Geno Smith is. He has a high floor, not a super high ceiling, but a guy that is in any given game can go out and throw for, 300 yards and multiple touchdowns because of the stuff that's around him. So what do you think here of this Seahawks team heading to Atlanta?
It's another game with a road team that's getting a full field goal that I've been finger on the trigger on, and I just can't quite get there because I think Rick Woolen really matters here for Seattle. If he's in this game, then I'd be a lot more interested in taking Seattle. McDonald has said it's going to be like a coin flip. He's been back-to-back DNP, so Friday's really important to see what his status is. I've been looking week after week for multiple weeks now to try and fade this Falcons team because I don't think they're as good as the market has them at right now. If you look at their schedule, they were a Saquon Barkley screen pass away from losing that game against Philadelphia. They lost against Kansas City. I don't think that final score is indicative of, how well the Chiefs played or maybe how poorly the Falcons played. They were in kind of a back and forth game with New Orleans that they gave away, or that they should have lost, frankly. I thought the Saints gave that away. They couldn't stop Tampa Bay whatsoever and needed a Cardero Hodge overtime touchdown to win that game. And then they beat up on Carolina. So, I think the jury is still really out here on how good this Falcons team is. They can't generate a pass rush whatsoever. You've heard in betting content all week about Geno Smith splits when he's indoors. I think he's going to be able to move the ball at will in this one. And Matt, there's one sentiment that I've seen over and over again in the betting market. There are enough groups out there that when we get a total into the 50s, it's just like auto bet the under and it comes back down a little bit. And I think a lot of times it's just wrong. I think they're having a hard time catching up to what's going on with how bad some of these defenses are in the NFL. So if Rick Woolen doesn't play, I might just bet over 51 in this game because I don't know how either team's getting stops. And that over 51 also goes in line with the Falcons being really up tempo the last couple of weeks as Kirk Cousins has gotten more comfortable, more no huddle, a really high pass rate in neutral game script situations. So a lot's pointing to the over here, even though it starts with a 5.
Ryan, I can tell you that there is a website out there called 12th Man Rising. It is a beat site towards the Seahawks with an article with a headline of Seahawks could be looking at a doomed trip to Atlanta due to cornerback injuries is the title of the article. And the opening headline is the entire secondary is suffering injuries right now. They go on to say that it looks like from what they saw at practice this week that they're going to have to play rookies at corner. They're going to have to move a safety to nickel, all kinds of stuff that is usually doesn't equal success in the NFL, which is why I kind of wanted to play the dog in this one, but then now not. So I don't know. I maybe this is a contest play for me. I don't know if it's a real life bet, but I think the Falcons with Kirk Cousins, if you're going up against rookies at corner, trying to, square peg round hole a safety to play nickel corner and all this stuff like that. I don't know. Kirk Cousins seems like the type of guy that can go in and just old man vet you to death with stuff like that. So I don't know. I think my opinion has shifted throughout the course of the week on this game.
I'm willing to pay for the 50.5 that's out there on the total. There's one of those out there. We've seen some other 51s getting on the right side of that 51. I think is the look for me. I mean, you guys did a great job basically outlining everything here. These teams are going to throw at a higher than pass rate over expectation. They're going to play with pace. I think there'd be a lot of plays here. And the cluster injuries on the Seattle side, as you kind of laid out there, Matt, is really tough. Rayshon Jenkins tried to play last week with a club on his hand. Did not work very well. A lot of missed tackles. He is now on IR. They brought back Artie Burns to kind of play in the slot for the first time all season. He got hurt. He's on IR. It's a disaster. Steven also highlighted the one thing here too. The one bugaboo with this Seahawks offense this year is they haven't done a great job protecting Geno Smith. Well, I mean, only the Panthers have a lower pressure rate than this Falcons team. So I think they're going to be able to keep him upright. And again, Abe Lucas, one of their tackles, is out for this one. Stone Forsythe, who has been an absolute turnstile, is out as well. So it's also like, well, he's been terrible, but he's obviously better than whoever they think is behind him, right? So like that's the kind of problem with this one too. So give me points in this one. I would lean Seattle because I think that they're still going to be able to move the football a ton. So maybe even a Seahawks team total. But yeah, without Rick Woolen, with all the other injuries going on, but I think Byron Murphy's back. It kind of solidifies the defensive front. But Seahawks or nothing or team total stuff is kind of the way to go.
Yeah, I'm with you there on that. This game was, like I said, I thought this was going to be a spot where I wanted to back Seattle, and then just changed over the course of the week. Guys, if you haven't done so already, upper right-hand corner of Lions.com is a free Discord to go in, chat the games with everybody over there. And if you haven't visited 4for4 yet, you need to go in, go ahead, sign up. It's worth the money. Everything that you are getting is going to make you better. And that's all we're trying to do here is make you better, whether it be at fantasy, whether it be at betting, whether it be just at life in general. Live life like Steven. That's all. Just live life like Steven, and you are going to be a jolly, happy person out there for sure. For Ryan, for Steven, I'm Matt. Good luck on all your week 7 bets.